Memories in Motion has just been announced for the next season. So let's go through the Go Battle League updates, such as, what's coming into this season, what's new, and what's the new movesets as well. So some exciting stuff coming our way. So firstly, Memories in Motion starts from the 3rd of March all the way to June the 2nd. Something new to add as well is daily discoveries, and on Thursdays it actually will be Go Battle League Thursdays, where you'll get 4 times Stardust rewards, and instead of 5 sets a day you can do 10 sets on the Thursday. So that's pretty cool. So instead of waiting for a Go Battle weekend, you can just practice on a Thursday and go up to 10 sets instead. As always, time research will be available for Go Battle League, so if you complete those pages, you also can get some elite TMs as well. Now I am going to skip through all the cups. I'm going to skip through the encounters for certain ranks. It is going to be an official season, so that means that unlike Precious Path, where it was an interlude season, this time you can actually get to Legend, you can encounter a Pikachu Libre, and it can be shiny. And this season's pose for Legend is inspired by Blue from the Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu series. But let's get through the attack changes. So the first one off the list is Low Kick. Low Kick is a fighting move, and trainer battles, it means that it has gone from 4 to 5 power. Also, the energy generation has increased. So with Low Kick, it can affect the following Pokemon such as Annihilate, Primeape, and Pangoro. I'm unsure if these particular Pokemon will suit Low Kick over their current moveset. I think Pangoro will benefit the best. I'm unsure about the apes, whether this will be a better move, but hey, it's a good alternative. Again, increasing the power, so it does more damage with its fast attack, and the energy generation is increased, so you get to your charge attacks faster. Next on the list is Mudshot. Now this one will benefit the Mud Boys because although the power has decreased from 4 to 3, the energy generation has increased. So it does mean that you get to your charge attacks faster. So this will affect the Pokemon such as Stunfisk, Toedscruel, Quagsire, and with Clodsire as well. But I'm unsure whether Mudshot will be better than Poison Sting at this stage. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how it all pans out. Next on the list is Psycho Cut, where it has increased power. So again, it will do more damage. This will affect certain Pokemon such as Malamar, which I'm not unsure because Psywave's pretty good, Aegislash, and Medicham. I think this is great for Aegislash, so hopefully that is something that is viable in this next season. I feel like Aegislash has a really good typing and coverage, so I'm hoping that it is playable or at least something that we can bring into the new season. Next up we have Waterfall. Now although Waterfall's power has decreased, its energy generation has increased. So I think this is a really particularly a good move in regards to like Kyogre. So we're looking at Master League kind of level, but on a Great League level, a certain Pokemon that comes to mind is like Empoleon. Metal Sound is again the most favored one currently in the Precious Paths season. So I'm unsure whether it'll be overtaken by Waterfall, but Waterfall is, pretty hard hitting as well. So maybe. Other Pokemon that come into mind is Golisopod, Kingdra, Samurott, Primarina, and maybe Alomomola. Did I say that correct? Alomomola. We'll cut that. Wing Attack is next, where energy generation has increased. So again, it's a big boost to certain birds and great flying types. So we're talking about your Glygars, your Galarian Moltres, in particular Gliscor. Gliscor, we'll come back to that because I think that's going to be an important Pokemon into this season. And also Pidgeot. Pidgeot also. Make a note of Pidgeot. I think Pidgeot and Gliscor. We'll have chats about that later in the video. Then we have Drain Punch. Now Drain Punch has increased double, so it's gone from 20 power to now 40 power. Now I was really unfamiliar with Drain Punch, so I had to look it up. Who has Drain Punch, and the only one that I thought was feasible in Great League was Sableye, which is definitely a great alternative to its current moveset. I mean, it does have Drain Punch currently, but it just is pretty weak, and that this might be something that is worthwhile to change it into. Other Pokemon that have Drain Punch include Quagsire and also Toxicroak as well, so maybe in certain metas that these will be viable, but yeah, I think Sableye is the one to target on this one. Now Heat Wave is an interesting one though. Heat Wave has been decreased in power, so we've gone from 95 to 75, but also the energy cost has decreased. So instead of a big nuke kind of type of move, it's kind of shortened itself, so it's a little bit weaker. However, you get there faster, and Heat Wave is actually being introduced to a few Pokemon, as you'll know later in the video. So it's an interesting one to have. I think obviously with moves such as like Weather Ball or quick spammy moves, but there's not really an intermittent in between a Weather Ball and a Flamethrower. So I think this one will be really interesting to see. I need to check if Flamethrower is actually bigger than Heat Wave. Let me check. What if it's not, Debbie? What if it's not? I was correct. Okay. Sand Tomb is the next one where it goes from 25 to 40 power. So it's a certain move that people would use to just bait or debuff the opponent by one stage. But now it's actually increased its damage. So it can actually quite, hit quite hard now. Or not super hard, but enough to be like, oh, okay, you got to think about it instead of being like, oh yeah, this is a bait move, I can just leave it alone. So Sand Tomb's an interesting one to buff, and interesting to see how it goes in the new season. The Pokemon that is affected with Sand Tomb, you've got your Fortress, you've got Gliscor, you've got Garchomp, you've got Flygon, and maybe Runerigus in a certain type of cup. Perhaps, if you're really spicy. Next up, we have Twister. So Twister is a dragon type move, and it has increased its power from 45 to 70, and the energy cost for this has also decreased. So it's going to be really interesting because there's certain Pokemon in this meta that has that Twister has been added to their moveset, such as Garchomp and Flygon. But what really comes to mind when I look at Twister is something like Gyarados, Fearow maybe, Shelgon. I'm not sure about the Shelgon, but Gyarados is something that when I was reading through this new move update, I was like, Gyarados looks really good. Next up on the move update, one is Volt Tackle. Now, I'm unsure if you know much about Volt Tackle, because I didn't know much about Volt Tackle. I saw an electric move, Volt Tackle. I was like, okay, what Pokemon does this affect? It affects one Pokemon. One Pokemon with a costume. So it only affects Pikachu, but not just Pikachu. Pikachu with Captain Hat Pikachu. It is the only Pokemon in-game that has Volt Tackle. So this only affects Pikachu. So I have no idea how this is going to be added into the system or how this particular Pokemon contributes to something down the line. Maybe Volt Tackle will get added to something else. I doubt it because it's only Captain Pikachu, but I thought it was really funny at the time. I was like, oh, an electric buff because energy cost has decreased, but only Captain Pikachu has this. So I was like, wait, is this a troll move? Or maybe something's happening. Maybe something's happening in Pokemon Go that I don't know about yet. All right, and now to talk about the debuffs. Now, in the Precious Path meta, we had a lot of Scizors, we had a lot of Mud Slappers. So these are kind of expected to what we expected coming into the new season, that a few of these moves will get nerfed. So Bullet Punch has been nerfed from 8 to 7 power. So it means that we're pretty much like pushing Scizor out of the meta. The other one is Mud Slap. Mud Slap has also been nerfed here from 12 to 11 power. So again, it'll affect all your Mud Slappers, your Kanto Marowaks, your Gastrodons, your Golurks that are out there, Toedscruel. Who runs Toedscruel? Do you guys know someone that runs Toedscruel? And also Smackdown. Now Smackdown, there's a few Pokemon that run Smackdown, but the notorious one out of the Great League is Bastiodon. So it was buffed and then now it's debuffed. So we bring Smackdown back down. Back down, Smackdown. The other one to mention is also Mud Bomb. Now, Mud Bomb has increased its power from 60 to 65. However, the energy cost has also increased. So it is more of an expensive move. Yes, you get an extra 5 power, but is it worth it? I'm unsure. Again, this will affect Stunfisk, it will affect Quagsire, it will affect like your Spicy Whiscash, because there's always someone at a local that's bringing a Spicy Whiscash, right? I'm looking at you over in Victoria. You know what I'm talking about. For Night Slash, the user attack increase has been lowered. So instead of 2 stage, I'm expecting 1 stage. So when you do get that Night Slash boost, it isn't so OP. Like, again, I'm pretty sure they're trying to push out Scizor here. Scizor. I think it's Scizor, because like scissors, right? But other Pokemon that this affects is Annihilate, Liger, Thievul, Pangoro, Greninja, Alolan Sandslash, the particular Pokemon that do run Night Slash. Rock Tomb has decreased its power from 80 to 75, so it's a little bit less hard hitting, but it still has that debuff of 100%, so that hasn't changed. So a little tweak. So I feel like out of the moves that have been updated, there's some tweaks here and there. It's nothing too dramatic, but it will definitely shift the meta because I feel like they're really trying to push, again, away the Bullet Punch Scizors. They're trying to push away the Mud Slappers. So we might see like, a rise of different Pokemon into the meta. But let's have a look at the attack availability updates. Now, as mentioned earlier in the video, Gliscor was one that I was like really interested in because it now can also learn acrobatics. So you got to think with Gliscor, it has wing attack that has just been buffed. It has Sand Tomb that has just been buffed, and it now has acrobatics. So it might be a one to try out in the new season and see how that plays into your team. Next up is Moltres that has Fly. Now this is just the regular Moltres, the Kanto Moltres. So I'm unsure if this will be applicable for Great League. But again, Moltres could be playable now. We've got Wing Attack again. It has a buff. It has Heat Wave available in its moveset, and now it can learn Fly. So that might be a really good moveset to try out for this Memories in Motion season. I don't know yet. I don't know where I land with it. Next up, we have Scolipede. Now, Scolipede is a certain Pokemon that only had really double bug moves. So it now has Aqua Tail available to have something a little bit different, just so it has a bit more coverage. Volcanion has Scald now. I'm unsure what Volcanion previously had. I don't know much about Volcanion. I don't know even if it's greatly legible, but it has Scald. Fury Cutter has been added to Heracross as well, so that might be interesting instead of like its usual move of Counter. And as mentioned earlier, Pidgeot now has Heat Wave available. So usually with Pidgeot, you'll be running a double flying move, and so having Heat Wave available gives a little bit more variety instead of just being like, you know, stuck if you're, you know, if you're only stuck with flying moves and let's say you're against like a Bastiodon or something, you're like, yeah, at least you've got something to throw against it now. Another Pokemon that had Heat Wave added was also Zapdos. So again, I'm unsure with this Cantonian birds, legendary birds, where they play into the mix, but it will have Heat Wave available. The next one is Togetic. Now, Togetic also will have Heat Wave available. I want to try that out. I think that's a really good move to try and get to, especially, you know, against, say, Steel types, which obviously the fairies don't want to see. Camerupt will now learn Scorching Sands. I don't know much about Camerupt. Besides its mega form, just looks like a gigantic volcano. I don't know if Camerupt will be in the meta. I just don't know too much about it. But Camerupt not only has Scorching Sands, but it's also able to learn Rock Tomb in this new season. So really interesting. Someone really likes Camerupt. Rotom Mow form, so mowing, like the grass form, that one, will have finally a grass move. Currently in this season of Precious Parts, it actually doesn't have a grass move, which is kind of funny because it's grass type Rotom. Again, back to a Cantonian legendary bird, Articuno has Powder Snow. Another update on Heracross, it does get Rock Tomb as well this season. So maybe, I don't know, Camerupt, Heracross meta, let's go. I think something more applicable for Master League is that Marshadow now has Shadow Claw. The Wormadams also all got Sucker Punch as well. So you got your plant form, you've got your trash form, you've got your sandy form. Here, have some Sucker Punch. And then lastly, as mentioned a little bit earlier as well, Flygon has Twister and Garchomp has Twister. So that ends all the move updates. Let me know what you're interested in and what you think will be in the new meta. I'm predicting Gliscor, I'm predicting Gyarados, I'm predicting maybe some Flygon, and then really it's something to kind of counter all that. So I think it's a good time for fairies again. We'll just have to see. If you're enjoying the content, please drop a like and a subscribe. For those that are hanging out for the Last Worlds video, it will happen. I swear it will. Again, thank you to my Patreons. I'm sure I'll list them over here. And yeah, enjoy the new season. Look after yourselves and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.